Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good day. As always, my name is Michael and thanks for joining me. So, am I getting a tiny house? Maybe. And that's the truth. I might be buying a tiny house. And I'm making this video to kind of talk about everything that I've been thinking about for, God, a very, very long time. And now is the time where it actually might come to fruition. So, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. Back in 2010, I bought my very first home. I was 23 years old and I'd been working at the credit union for a while. I was tired of renting and I thought it was time to buy a house, right? I thought it was a good investment, right? This is a couple years after the market crashed. I knew that I could buy homes for a little bit cheaper than what they used to sell for. I thought it'd be a good investment. So I bought a home, 2010, but literally like a couple days before I signed off and closed on the house, I found out about tiny houses. And right off the bat, I fell in love with the idea, right? I came across tiny houses and minimalism at the same time, and for whatever reason, they just spoke to me. The idea of, why spend so much money on this big monstrous house that you won't use all the time and you don't need all the stuff that's in there and it's just gonna be a burden, and you could live a more freeing life if you live small and all of that stuff. And literally, even though I was buying a house, I thought, this is what I should be doing, right? It was such strange timing, but ever since then, literally ever since then, I've wanted a tiny house. I've wanted to try it. But having said that, I still ended up buying the large 2,000 square foot house, and I had it for like a year and 9 months. I sold it, luckily made a profit, used those profits to buy a 650 square foot condo, which is now used for rental income. And now we live in a, not big, not small, it's about 1,000 square foot house, and it's kind of perfect. Really, it's just a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, but it's very nice. It's in a nice neighborhood, close to all the places that we want to be close to, and there's not a whole lot I can complain about. But like a sailor drawn to a siren's call, I still want a tiny house. It's something I just can't get rid of, right? Even if it's not a tiny house, it's a small house. And I love the idea of design and architecture. And I kind of feel like in another life, I should have gone on to be an architect. But having said that, this is what I'm actually thinking about doing. Well, in our backyard, this is kind of what it looks like. It's actually a pretty deep lot, right? We've got a lot of square footage. We've got a large deck that is kind of great for entertaining, but we also have the small studio in the back, right? For a while, it was my girlfriend's crafts room, and then it kind of just became my workout room. And that's what it is as of right now. I just work out in there and not a whole lot else. So what I planned on doing was literally tearing down that little studio and building a small house. Not a tiny house, a small house, right? With the foundation and all that fun stuff. And we were gonna live in that small house and rent out the main house. Now what happened is that I actually got so far as to but consult with an architect who came over to the house, looked at everything, tried to find out what my plans were, and she said, in really short terms, this isn't doable because you live too close to a floodplain. And that kind of like broke my heart, in all honesty. And I get what she's saying. Literally, like behind our fence, there's a neighborhood creek. If rains are really, really heavy, it could technically spill over, and I think we're in like a 100-year floodplain. And in today's days, 100 years doesn't seem that unrealistic. So anyways, those dreams were dashed, gone, can't do it. But that doesn't mean we can't put a tiny house back there, right? Because it's not a permanent structure. We don't need to worry about city zoning or ordinance or anything like that. We don't have an HOA, right? So we don't have to worry about that either, right? It is still possible for us to do the tiny house. Now, some of you may be asking, well, if y'all own your house and you love it, why would you ever want to live in a tiny house? Well, just like my title name says, I like to focus on common sense, right? And I think this is a very, very easy way of generating more passive income, right? This would not be worth it if it's something that we didn't want to do. But if it's something that we want to do, well, this has the ability to generate a lot of extra income. We would live in the tiny house in the backyard, and we would rent out the main house, right? And use those proceeds we would cover all of the property taxes, all of the utilities, and still have a lot left over each month to just contribute to savings, right? My girlfriend's considering getting her master's degree, so it could go towards that. It can go towards really whatever we want. The idea is that we are more efficiently using kind of our resources, and it allows us to just earn more money without doing anything extra. We're still living technically in the same area, but we're utilizing the larger asset to generate income to pay off the smaller asset, pay off all of the liabilities for each month, and to me, it just seems like a win-win, right? Another advantage is that because we own the home, right, and we would put the tiny house in the backyard, we don't have to worry about finding land to park the tiny house. We also don't have to pay anyone to park the tiny house, right? A lot of people that live in tiny houses, they're living on someone else's property or land, and they have to pay kind of like a land rent each month, and we don't have to worry about that, right? So that's another benefit and another savings built into this plan. So that's kind of what's going on in my world. Again, I have a tendency to just kind of run wild with ideas, and I need to slow down because there's no guarantee that this happens, right? This is all just ideas. I'm really interested in these ideas, but it's just ideas. So what I'm actually doing this weekend is we're heading up to a tiny house jamboree, which is just a tiny house convention in Fort Worth, Texas, and I'm so freaking excited. I've actually never been to a tiny house, so honestly I might just find out this is stupid and I'll never ever do this, but I don't think that's gonna be the case. But anyways, we're heading up there. I think there's gonna be like 60 builders and there's gonna be like 60 homes, and I'm gonna try to get all the footage that I can, right? Because I know some of you guys might be interested in this, and what I wanna do is make sure that I get all of my questions answered, but ask any questions that you might be interested in. So if you've got any questions about tiny houses or tiny living or efficient living or anything at all, put it in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to ask that to any builders that I come across that are interested in having this conversation. I've also got 2 links down in the description, which are to my 2 favorite tiny houses that are on trailers, right? There's small houses and they're tiny houses, but these are tiny houses on trailers. And I just love the aesthetic. I love the clean simplicity of everything. And this is something I'll be talking about more in the future. Maybe not tiny houses specifically, but maybe like small and efficient living, because that is something that I did with a condo and it's something that I firmly believe in now. But that's what I want to talk about today, guys. I'm super pumped about this weekend. I'm excited to answer any questions that you guys have. Fingers crossed, all of this stuff could potentially come a reality, but take care. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, share, but take care and have a good weekend. Hey guys, I know I just said this stuff, but let me say it again. Thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate all the support that you guys give me, and to support you, here's 2 more videos that I've made in the past in case you haven't seen them. Don't forget to share these with your friends and family so we can help all the people achieve their financial goals. Likewise, if there's anything that you would want to see made that you haven't seen thus far, definitely don't hesitate to let me know. But thanks again, take care, and have a good day.